Hello, everybody, and welcome back again. I hope this one's still private. Okay, we're good.
This means
all right, and it
something
says 2, so that's
Yeah.
that's good.
This means that something happened.
What happened?
Abu al-Baghdadi.
He died like a dog.
He died like a dog. People who watched this episode and have watched the one that we recorded prior are going to be
cried. I wouldn't have cried.
It's the same day for us, but for you, it's...
Oh, here.
There we go. Now it's different.
All right. I'll fix my shoey.
Oh, I thought you farted. It was your door. I was like, that was a nice Peter Griffin fart.
Yeah, and I was going to say, our last several podcasts have just been Zoom, so therefore, you know, we're not in person, so therefore it's literally just my face. 40 pounds down, man.
That was...
Abu Baghdad al-Baghdadi. He died like a dog.
Oh, fuck, look out.
Oh, fuck, look out. Man, can you imagine if Trump was Australian?
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna attempt this. So first thing I'm gonna do is get into Trump, the Trump headspace, and then I'm gonna affect an Aussie accent. It doesn't work.
Nope.
Nope. I imagine it would just sound a lot like Boris Johnson.
Who's that?
That
I remember
British
the name.
PM that they called like the British Trump.
Oh, okay.
With the messy hair and everything.
Oh man, you know what? Speaking of not British, but Pierre, what's his face?
Oh, up in
north,
Canada?
Our brother up north, man, he's killing it.
Oh man, I'm a fan.
I think he's gonna win. I mean, you never know.
See how he couldn't win.
Little miniature freaking Cuba Fidel Castro, you know, like no. I don't understand why people think he's good.
I don't understand how people don't think Fidel Castro is not his dad. Put up a picture of each of them.
And it's wild. Like if you just like literally have Trudeau grow out a gnarly beard and then wear one of his hats,
he looks just like,
bro. It looks just like Chico and the Man.
Looks nothing like Chico and the Man.
Do you know?
Yes, I know Chico and the...
Yes. He fucking knows who Chico and the Man is. That's Freddie Prinze, bitch.
Yeah.
Not Freddie Prinze Jr. That's his daddy.
Wait, I thought Freddie Prinze was Ponch.
He was Chico.
Hang on.
And the Man was a white guy.
Hang on. We gotta... I'm probably wrong.
I watched that show a lot. That was a good show. I remember Chico and the Man would come on, and then Taxi would come on. I was changing.
Oh no, you're right. It is Freddie Prinze.
I hated Taxi. I wasn't a fan of it. And I'm not talking Travis Bickle Taxi. I'm talking the show.
No, you're right. That's Freddie Prinze.
Freddie Prinze.
I think he was Ponch too, though. Hang on.
Probably. He was an actor.
He
died young. He had Junior, and then he died not too long after. I'm fairly certain overdose or something.
No, Eric Estrada was Ponch. I'm wrong.
On Chips. Okay.
See?
There's one thing I know. It's my pop culture.
It's 80s.
Holy shit.
Sitcoms.
Oh, like, yeah. Well, no, not. I mean, yeah. But I know like too much.
Who's your favorite?
TV
Who's
shit.
your favorite Golden Girl?
I can't remember her name, but she's the oldest one.
Oh my God, this is bad. Like I'm on a podcast.
Gladys?
No.
No,
Jesus.
Gladys. There is a Gladys though, right?
No.
I'm just throwing out old.
I keep wanting to see I keep wanting to say Ethel, but no, that's from Dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
That's the
God.
wife.
Sophia.
Is that her name?
Sophia Petrillo.
Yeah.
Played by Estelle Getty.
She was awesome.
My first favorite was Rose, man, but as I watched the show, I became a Dorothy fan.
Is Dorothy the really deep voice
B.
girl?
Arthur, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
she's second.
I like that dry, just...
My brother actually loved Golden Girls because my grandmother, you know, like when certain TV shows are on while you're a kid and then they're just on and you're just watching with your parents, Like, that doesn't happen like that nowadays. Like, nowadays we have so much shit to watch.
I think we just found the theme of this episode.
90s?
But, well, no, just old TV shows.
Nostalgic
TV. But I like TV shows because there's a lot of ground we can cover. Because now I'm going to have to...
They don't make TV shows
No,
like
they don't. No, they don't. I'm about to ask you about like 3, though.
Shit, have at it.
So, like, your favorite Golden Girl. Man, I love them all, though. But actually, Blanche is my least favorite.
I didn't watch it a lot. I did watch it a little bit.
I slept on it, and I actually have my ex-wife to thank for this because I slept on Golden Girls my entire life.
I did the same with Roseanne.
Oh, dude.
I watched episodes here and there, but like as I got older and started watching it, I was like, dude, everything they're going through, besides like losing power and shit like that, because I never understood how they lost power.
Oh, dude, I lost power.
I was like, you can afford beer.
Oh, no, I lost power.
But you can't afford to pay your electric bill?
Oh, no, man, I've had my electric bill cut off before.
Oh, no, okay. I'm sorry. As a father, no, I've never had my electric bill.
Oh, yeah, okay,
As a single person.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I've had my power cut off.
Yep.
Now, let's just say that, I made that transition because when you have children, you have to think about them. But granted, power does not equal safety. In the middle of the winter and you need to heat your house, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's...
But
if you've got gas, though, you can still have heat.
Dude, I've always got gas. Anyway, so all right, what you're going to say something?
Oh, but so I slept on the Golden Girls, and then she was like... she's like, oh, the Golden Girls is on. I'm like, the Golden Girls? And then I watched volleyball. And then I watched the Golden Girls, and I'm like, how did I my mother should have slapped me for this.
She probably didn't watch it either.
No, she did. That's the thing. Like, you should have made me watch this because this is hilarious.
We were asshole little kids, man.
This is true.
You can't get us to. Well, you couldn't get me to sit still. I don't know about you,
but that's the same thing I did with the next show though, MASH.
Oh, I know that's probably a good show.
MASH,
but I can't. Dude, it reminds me of a time in my life when I would watch the greatest shows, and then that shitty show would come on.
I highly recommend.
I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm just saying as a kid, I hated it
because
my good show ended and then it I was like, man,
that was the same. And then it's so funny how I started watching MASH. I was years ago. I was sick as a fucking dog and could not sleep. So, and this is back when I had cable. So I
miss those days.
I'm channel surfing, right? And the only thing I'm trying to fall asleep, so I hit WGN and MASH is on, and I was like, oh, sweet, I'll pass out in no time. Except then I watched the show.
You're just like, I can't sleep.
No, but then I watched the show, and I'm cracking the fuck up. This show's fucking hilarious. And Alan Alda is a goddamn national treasure, so...
Like, well, I mean, maybe it's a slept. Well, I mean, it's not a slept-on show because it's very popular.
Yeah, it's extremely popular. But yeah, I slept on it hardcore, and then after that night, I started watching it from the very beginning, and I watched the entire series.
I got it. Shows we slept on that we finally started watching.
I don't know how many of those I have, but
I've got quite a few. I mean,
that's true. I've got
Roseanne was one.
Yeah, Roseanne was a big one.
The stuff I did not watch when I was a kid, but I watched as an adult. Oh, jeez. Now that I said this, I can't even think of one, even though I've seen many.
I've got one that I slept on for a long time. Did you ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
I've seen bits and pieces.
Oh, dude.
I'm okay. I'm not continue, but I'm definitely I've slept on Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, but we'll get... Oh, that's another show.
I haven't even watched it yet because I started watching Young Sheldon.
I slept on Young Sheldon so hard, and I was wrong.
You know what? I just said you can't make good shows today. I was wrong. Jim Parsons and his partner are doing really well.
Yes, extremely.
Which the funny thing is, the two producers of the show are actually married, and it's Jim Parsons, who plays Sheldon, and the other guy, I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name.
It's not Vivek. But it's like V-A-K,
V-A-K.
That's how I'm pronouncing it, and that's how it's going, baby.
Well, so How I Met Your Mother. I slept on the show for years, and I'll give you...
Doesn't that have Doogie Howser in it?
Yes.
Well, I can't remember his name.
Neil Patrick Harris. Yes, and he's...
Give me a Coke.
And they were actually really smart, because Neil Patrick Harris is why you start watching the show. But then the whole cast is fantastic, but Neil Patrick Harris was definitely the hook.
Who's the one guy who's in it?
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel. He is hilarious.
He's so. I wasn't a Jason Segel fan hardcore until How I Met Your Mother.
I wasn't a fan of his until I saw the Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
See, I didn't like Forgetting Sarah Marshall until
loved it, dude.
No, I do now. I didn't like it
until. What are you doing here? I came here to murder you.
No, but How I Met Your Mother. So, and it is only because I was so bored at the time and literally just had run out of things to watch that I stuck with How I Met Your Mother, because the first few episodes are they're not bad, but they're kind of standard sitcom fare. There was nothing really special about them, and if you're not engaged with the characters, it's like you'll chuckle but you won't like But then and I think it's like episode 3 or 4, it's not that far in, there's an episode where Ted and Barney is Neil Patrick Harris, they end up they go to the airport to try to score chicks.
I've seen lots of clips, so just if I whatever.
So, but they go to the airport to pick up chicks, and then they end up getting detained by TSA. Because shit. Barney does this bit all the time, apparently, where he drops a suitcase in baggage claim, and then they've got like a bunch of footage of him doing this. So then they think he's a terrorist, and this whole thing, he's in there, he keeps saying the same thing. He goes, "We are international businessmen on an international business trip." But anyway, then they go to Philadelphia, and Ted's all mad, and Barney's like, "Come on, man, this is a great story." And then they're hanging out at some girl's house that Barney's trying to score with, and then there's this other guy who happens to be there, and they find out he works security at the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. And then Barney's like, "You ever touch it?" He's like, "Oh yeah, loads of times." He's like, "You ever lick it?" And then the guy goes, "No, I have never licked the Liberty Bell." So then they go and lick the Liberty Bell. You don't see it, they tell.
Oh.
But I know, and I love that. And Ted's telling the story in the bar later, and to a girl, and she goes, "Well, what did it taste like?" He goes, "Freedom." Actually, it tasted like pennies.
Freedom.
That's
freedom tastes like copper, people.
But that is when, and one of the things, my favorite things about How I Met Your Mother. So in that same episode, there's a moment where Barney is sending pictures to Marshall as a joke, but this is back in 2005, so they're all flip phones, and the gag is Marshall's going through the pictures, and it's Barney going, but it's an old flip phone. How I Met Your Mother is a literal time capsule because it starts in 2005. And it ends in 2009, I think. No, there's 9 seasons. I get 2014.
That was a huge technology jump.
Right, because they go from flip phones and a regular home landline phone.
In 2009, they got iPhone.
It's 2014, but yeah, by about the middle of the series, it was 9 seasons. I get the 9.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, it's a literal decade time capsule, but at such a transitional moment. Because, like I said, they go from flip phones to iPhones over the course of the series, and it's so much fun to watch. But there's so many episodes that are just I dubbed it. It's one of my night shows when I turn it on, but I don't need to watch. But there's sometimes I'll just be laying in bed, like trying to go to sleep, and there's a particular episode that's on, and I just go because they're so funny. There's a couple of highlight episodes. You'd enjoy it. It's a very layered sense of humor. Like there's I'm probably giving away. No, I'm not going to tell you this because it'll ruin it for you.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, fuck. I don't know if I want to.
No, don't tell me.
Should I tell?
What you can do is turn this into a short and put the scene there. Is it too short?
Oh, dude, it's a whole story arc, but I'm going to ask the audience on this one, and they might not answer for a while. But audience, should I tell them about Robin Sparkles? Or will that ruin the show?
That probably ruined the show.
Because I started going down that road because of Jessica Glitter and the Beavers.
Jessica Glitter and the Beavers?
What's hilarious, though, is if you've seen the show, you're laughing hysterically right now. And if you haven't seen the show, you're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I'm going to assume it's probably like some type of like band-ish thingy that they created. And it's
but not in the way you think.
Okay, I was going to say maybe it was kind of like what they did on South Park where they created a band and then didn't even know how to play the music. No,
it's like I said, you're right, kind of, but not. You have no idea how you're right. But one thing that won't spoil it for you is James Van Der Beek guest stars and plays a musician, and they actually recorded a song where he does the vocals called Murder Train, and it is hilarious.
You know, since you... I'm going to diverge a little bit, but James Van Der Beek, Do you follow him on social media?
No, but I hear that I should.
I mean, I'm not talking like, like anything like super like anything crazy that he says or whatnot, but the guy literally has a farm and takes care of it. And I don't know if it's a farm, but
no, it's a farm. I'm aware.
And he literally takes care of it. And the literally thing is, he does not push leftist ideas.
No. Why do you think he doesn't work so much anymore?
I know. And there's a lot of actors who don't work who were great actors.
Jensen Ackles.
I don't.
He works, but he works.
I mean, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't think he's conservative.
No, I don't think he is either. I think he's just a normal person. I think he's
apolitical.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say,
I've never heard him really talk about.
He works, but he works pretty much on what he wants to work on.
Yeah, and season 16 of Supernatural's coming.
Is it really? Did they confirm that?
They confirmed it.
Ooh.
And the thing is, like, oh, dude, no, everybody was always like, oh, it died after this. And I was like, no, it became different. And, I was like, the last few seasons, they introduced multiverse. So, therefore, you have infinite possibilities now. It doesn't have to be the exact same as long as you have the core characters. That's where people screw up in shows when you remove core characters.
Yeah.
Like the Connors. Still a good show.
You can do it. You have to do it the right way because you can't actually remove core characters. Mm-hmm. So I've used this example a million times, and I know you didn't watch the show, but Glee. Glee had an opportunity after season 3. Well, not an opportunity. They had a decision to make. Which, by the way, if you have slept on Glee, at least watch the first 3 seasons. You can honestly stop watching after season 3 and you'll be fine, but it slowly goes down, and then by the time you get to like the last 2 seasons, it drives off a cliff. But anyway, but what happens after season 3 is all the oldest kids in the Glee Club graduate. So now they have a decision they have to make. Do they want to go the Degrassi route and keep the school as the central focus and just have a rotating cast that rotates out every couple of years? Which I was actually hoping they would have done, because a show like Glee, the school Glee Club, is kind of essential for it to be called Glee. Or do they elect to follow the main character, because you can't realistically follow all of them because they're all going to different places, main character or a couple of main characters, and kind of do like an unofficial spinoff where the show changes like it did in Supernatural, but it's still the central same group of people. And they elected to try to do both, and it just did not work because you couldn't tell any really compelling story. They told some compelling stories, but for the most part, it was.
I don't think removing characters in any show could work. Because...
Well, but it's set in high school. You kind of have to, otherwise your show has an expiration date. So that's why I was hoping they would.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, people don't realize that shows really do have an expiration date. And I will be honest, though, like, Supernatural did run its course, but I'm still excited about a 16th season.
Well, if there's an audience for it, then who cares? But I mean, like...
Because they may have not been doing the numbers they were doing in, like, the 4th and 5th season. But, like, I mean, they still had a very loyal following. That's the thing about Supernatural, man. If you get on the internet and look anywhere, it has such a loyal following. It's insane.
It does.
Because, I mean, it's a damn good show. I mean, Eric Kripke, dude, he's a genius when it comes to certain stuff.
Listen,
they're trying to add a little woke shit to The Boys and whatnot, but past that, like, The Boys is amazing.
Yeah, but here's the thing: any show that can successfully create an episode where somebody goes back in time to unsink the Titanic to prevent that Celine Dion song from being made.
Balthazar, that was the angel's name. He literally unsunk the Titanic to make souls. Because the thing is, the people who would have died on the Titanic went on to have full lives and had children and whatnot. And that's just a bunch of more souls for heaven to use. And heaven at that time needed an army of souls to power a weapon. Isn't that crazy? It's like,
I thought it was because he hated the song. Or is that just the reason
it was both. And the thing is...
that's why he chose the Titanic.
No, that's what he told the Winchesters. He hated the song, so he unsunk the Titanic. But in all reality, they come to find out that he was using it for souls for a weapon.
See, that is gold. That is.
It is great. That is great writing.
But speaking of James Van Der Beek, I'm going to talk about a series that I'm actually glad I slept on.
Is it Van Der Beek or Van Der Bee?
Van Der Beek.
Isn't
James Van Der Beek?
Bilt is Beek?
No, Beek.
I thought it was Van Der Bee. Vanderbilt.
No.
Is it Beek?
Van Der Beek.
Why am I getting that confused?
I don't know. But, yeah, so I when it was airing, I did not watch Dawson's Creek, and I went back and tried to start watching it just to see if I missed anything. It's bad. Like it's really bad. I don't understand why it was so popular at the time. Every single person in that show is obnoxious.
Van Der Beek.
Yeah, it's three words.
Okay. All right.
But
wow.
yeah,
Where the fuck did I get Vanderbeek?
I don't know. But man, I'm glad I slept on Dawson's Creek, man.
Forgot the K.
I'm really
Dawson's
glad.
Creek?
Yeah, it's It's like the first episode introduces everybody. I want to slap all of them.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you watch these shows because you wanted to, or was there a female involved?
No. I wanted to check out. It's not. I didn't just watch Dawson's Creek. I went back and checked out a couple of shows that like I didn't watch when they were airing, just to see.
Dawson's Creek wasn't. What's his face on that?
James Vanderbeek. Yeah.
No.
Joshua Jackson.
He was in that.
Yeah.
No.
Pacey.
Jared Padalecki. Well, he was in something.
Jared Padalecki.
His name was Dean in one of the shows. I don't think it was Dawson's. Was it Dawson's Creek? Gilmore Girls. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
I had never seen that either, but you know.
I saw Gilmore Girls in passing, and I'm not interested.
You know what's funny is Supernatural. So Sam Winchester, Jared Padalecki played a character named Dean on Gilmore Girls, and then Jensen Ackles played a character named Eric on what was that? The Young and the Restless.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he was young, and he had like wavy blonde hair, and he just looked like a little kid.
I kind of want to see that clip. That is, especially now after seeing him as Soldier Boy.
Oh, dude,
I kind of really want to see that.
You fucking disappoint me, dude. When he said that to Homelander, I was like, yes.
Man, I'm telling you right now,
they need more Soldier Boy in that.
I way prefer Soldier Boy
to Homelander.
No, in the TV show versus the comics. Now, don't get me wrong. The comics, Soldier Boy is funny in a completely different way. Because in the comics, I don't know if you're familiar.
He's a little bitch. He pisses his pants.
And he doesn't. It works in the comics. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually very entertaining.
But they changed him up for the freaking show.
Well, because in the comics, he like doesn't even swear. Like he's like, oh gosh.
Oh, dude, when he came in, he's like, "You fucking pussy." I was like, "Damn, I love this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is the way." You know, the funny thing is, Jensen. I'm fairly certain he said that he doesn't really talk like that, and he said that was one of the funnest things about playing that character because he could just let loose and just be like, ah.
I saw a clip of him. I think it was a Supernatural panel, but somebody asked him about the boys, and they were talking about, which I haven't gotten to Herogasm yet, the episode where they do, but he was like, yeah, Jensen was telling me a story, and he said that he walked on set because he was at Herogasm episodes. Oh no, I'm sorry, Carl Urban was getting asked. And he said, I was talking to Jensen Ackles, and he said that he walked on set and saw one of the cameramen eating a sandwich, and he just looked at it and said, Jensen, nice guy. He said, how's it going? Camera guy said, dude, I've seen some shit.
You could imagine them having to film for that. I remember the scene. You haven't got there yet, you said, right?
Not in the show, but I read the comic run because I'd heard so much. Well, the
comic I imagine is probably way worse.
I haven't seen the show yet.
The show one,
probably
it wasn't really anything bad.
Probably, but like I know there's this. Apparently because I jumped ahead to Herogasm because I kept hearing how notorious it was, but I am reading the boys' comics. I got to say the comics start out kind of slow. Like,
of course.
But it's a comic. I get it, but like I guess like because Homelander. I gotta say though, if you think Homelander's bad in the TV show,
is he worse than the comics?
Oh my god, he's beyond, like, he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's mind fucking Soldier Boy to the point where every year at Herogasm he fucks Soldier Boy.
Oh yeah,
because he tells Soldier Boy that if he wants to get in the 7, he has to, like, I don't know, impress him.
Well, and the funny thing is, he wasn't his dad in the comics.
No, he was not.
That was added later on, and essentially he really wasn't his dad in the show. He was more just a donor.
True.
He was taken from him. Well, actually, he was created from him.
Well, and I gotta say, which by the way, spoiler alert for the boys. What I prefer in the comics versus the show is who Black Noir really is. Because in the comics, it's a Homelander clone. I think,
he wasn't a clone in the show, but in the comics he was. Dude, I'm fairly certain.
I jumped ahead to the end too to see that shit, dude. That is awesome.
The comics?
Yeah, but in the comics you find out that like Butcher wants to kill Homelander because he
fucked his wife and had a son with him.
But in the comics,
Her.
Well, actually, and in the comics she ends up dying because of it. But in the comics it wasn't Homelander. It was Black Noir. All the most fucked up shit that Homelander did was actually Black Noir. But because he's a Homelander clone, he just puts on Homelander's outfit and does whatever the fuck he wants, and with impunity.
Why wouldn't they have gone with that?
I don't know, man.
They fucked up, dude.
I agree.
That would have been way
That's what I'm
awesome.
saying, man. That was my jam. The Deep's way more interesting in the show,
because Homelander killed Black Noir. Wait a minute. Black Noir was a character that's happened before with someone else, right? In that show, didn't they have one before him? Because you got to think there was a Black Noir when in the show at least I think there was a Black Noir when Soldier Boy, it was flashbacks.
I can't remember. I think you're right in the show.
In the show, right, yeah. not in the comics. But the thing is, you could argue that no you can't because Black Noir is dead. Maybe that was another person put in the Black Noir suit.
Maybe.
And then that Homelander is running rampant elsewhere. Maybe he's just being quiet.
Who knows?
Imagine what they could do, dude. They could do so much with this series.
That's why a show like The Boys is so interesting, because you can literally do when you have superpowered
That's a show that's kind of slept on, because, I mean, this guy didn't really, until I said, I was like, dude, you got to watch this.
To be fair, I didn't so much sleep on The Boys as I prioritized other things. I always wanted to watch The Boys, but I wasn't like, oh, I don't want to watch. I saw the first trailer and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch the shit out of this. And I just didn't, for a reason, because I like Carl Urban and I like superhero shit. So watching it get turned on its head in a way, and people were raving about it. So I didn't think that it was like a failure. And obviously it's 5 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously it wasn't a bust. The most recent episode I watched, though, was the one where, it ends with, Stormfront and Homelander beating the shit out of each other and fucking. She's like
Stormfront. She's the one with like the crazy haircut, right?
She used to be Liberty. She was the older Soup.
Oh yeah, and then she rebranded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that's like, fucking laser my tits. But you know what? That scene actually brings to something that I don't think really gets talked about that much in superhero lore. Like, she comments about how it hurts. This is someone who probably doesn't ever really feel pain. Homelander probably too. So I kind of, like, the scene makes sense in a really weird, twisted way, but we don't get it because we feel pain every day. Like, fuck, I sleep on my arm wrong and I feel it for a week.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they do feel pain. Maybe it's just on a different level because
Well, I'm sure it's on a different level, but I guess it would be like, for her
They'd have to get hit by, like, the Hulk.
I was going to say, for her to
Or Homelander.
If you shot her or Homelander with a gun, it would probably be equivalent to like a beetle running into us.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's like, do you feel it, but it's not.
Yeah, they're just kind of like.
Yeah, you're.
Well, actually, is I can't remember. Is Homeland invulnerable?
Pretty much.
Okay, I couldn't remember or not.
Yeah, good old Homelander.
The Invisible Man. Remember he got blown up. That was funny. Yeah, I gotta say, if I have one criticism of The Boys, is like the comics, it does take a minute to get... Like, it starts out really fast, and then it meanders for a couple episodes. Which I get, you gotta learn who everybody is, but in streaming, that's risky. But I guess it didn't... Yeah, no, it's Prime, so yeah. I think they did it pretty well. You know, like, it was kind of slow for, like, an episode, but then, like, after that, it was just, like...
Yeah.
Took off.
Well, where it got really interesting is when Starlight infiltrates the Seven and...
Don't talk about Starlight. Have you seen her pictures? She ruined her face.
Yeah, I don't...
You know, the funny thing is, I don't know for a fact whether if that was just a bad photo, because I've seen some other photos of her recently, and she doesn't look like what they were showing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I did see the photo you're talking about, and I'm like, man.
She looked pretty awful.
Yeah.
But,
anyway, what other shows did you sleep on?
So I was thinking,
I don't know that you actually slept on it, but did you actually? No, I think you did, but I recommended it to you. I don't know. Have you watched any of or did you
I
watch
can tell you movies?
Did you watch Dinosaurs yet?
No.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I've heard. I've watched quite a bit of it, and I've watched the last episode just for reference because the last episode was pretty dark.
The last episode's actually my least favorite.
Oh, I know, because it's not a comedy episode. It's a realistic, we're about to go through some shit.
And don't get me wrong, I totally get it. I'm not faulting the showrunners for that. But Dinosaurs, and that was an era in TV where, and How I Met Your Mother does this too, is like, they actually put effort into it. Like, I love this bit. It's actually on my YouTube playlist. So they make fun of MTV. And you got to remember, this show started in 94. So this was still like when MTV was like closer to 80s MTV. But so I love the bit is, it starts out with Robbie and the baby watching TV, and then you just got this guy on DTV. Welcome back to DTV. You're right in the middle of a weekend of macho idiot rock. It's like
macho
idiot rock, and I love it. It's like, this is from the new band Lizard Skizard. Is that won them the award for fastest editing. And this hour of television is brought to you by beer. But then they actually play part of the song, and it's actually a banger. Like, it's a really good song. Like, it's funny, but they put effort into it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
they put effort into a joke that lasts for maybe a minute.
Yeah, you don't get that nowadays.
No, you don't. I don't understand why, because like I'm sitting there, I'm like, I really want this whole song.
Have you looked it up to see if there's a whole song?
Yeah, not the whole thing. I've definitely got the bit though.
All right.
I looked at, but fun fact. Okay, so I was saving this for Toon Talk, but if you're watching this, you may not watch Toon Talk. Did you know that the showrunners of Dinosaurs made an album? Yeah, I did not know this.
So kind of like Backyard Barbecue?
Exactly like Backyard Barbecue. Here's the thing, though. I didn't know this existed. And right back to what I was talking about putting effort into a show. So it's an album that they created, and it's all original songs sung by the cast. And I'm not going to lie, some of them are pretty good.
Well, a lot of those voice actors, I mean,
they can all sing.
Backgrounds,
they can clearly all sing.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the numbers on that album actually made it into a music video that they produced and put it at the beginning of one of the episodes. Now that one I was aware of, but I thought they just made it for the show. And there's actually one that the Robbie character sings. Not so much the vocals, but honestly, if you like 80s rock, you will love this song. It's actually pretty good. I've
been going through a phase lately.
It's full on 80s power ballad, and it is awesome.
I don't know about power ballads.
Oh man,
I've been listening to a lot of Motley Crue and
okay, yeah, different
Skid Row and shit like that.
If you like 80s power ballads, like you will love this song.
Like Whitesnake.
Yes, exactly like Whitesnake. Whitesnake and I'm drawing a blank now, but yeah, in that vein, you'll love it. It's very Van Halen. If you like Van Halen, you'll love it. You'll fucking love it.
The Eruption.
They just, guitar solo out of nowhere for no reason that kicks way more ass than it should. Just
it's got that one little bend that he loves.
No, not 80s power ballads. The whole thing is like that. It's not just a bend. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, and a band.
No, man, that's what made me. That's what got me back into Disturbed, because it was their album. What was their album? What album did they do?
Don't know exactly what you do to me. I'll have to disco this time.
Which, by the way, I tagged Disturbed in that, hoping they would notice, but
yeah,
they did not.
They don't like us.
No, I don't know. I think if they'd seen it, they actually would have gotten a kick out of it.
I mean, dude, that is a Disturbed disco song. Like, really you cannot, like, anytime you think about that, you just think of, like, the glowing lights and then just bouncing back forth. Someone just going...
I mean, it technically is the same beat. It's just a little bit faster, but it is technically the same beat.
Disturbed is disco, bruh.
Not all of it, some of it, especially early Disturbed.
Except for Dropping Plates, which is their only good song in my opinion.
Not true. It's one of the worst.
And I don't understand why people really love that Sound of Silence.
Dude, it's
and
so
I know
good.
You love it. Nick loves it. I can't stand it.
Okay, actually, here's
this actually has nothing to do with the song.
This will be a great.
Has
clip.
Everything to do with David Draymond. I don't like him.
Okay, now I need more information.
I don't know. I don't like him. Like, when I see him talk to people, like, he comes across as a
A little preachy-ish.
Intellectual, but like a forced intellectual.
Like a pseudo-intellectual.
Like if I'm talking about something and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, like, I sound stupid.
I can see that.
And, like, I'm saying, like, the guy tries to make it sound like he knows what he's talking about.
I know
he knows what he's talking about. But I just don't like the way, like, it's his facial, you know, it's your face. Change your face. No, I'm just kidding.
I believe
it's how he talks and his eyes and movements. Like, when he talks, it seems like he's being disrespectful. But I will say this. When he talks, his tone is respectful. But his eye glances and eye rolls and then just like, you know, like this and that.
You know what?
Past that, he's all right.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I just recently watched a video where he talks about when he basically auditioned to join the band, and he was like, and I'm sure I rubbed them the wrong way. I think that's just him. And I understand it to a point because
he's unapologetically him. So,
but as someone who has been criticized for this before, apparently I have the male equivalent to resting bitch face, so I get it.
I get that all the time.
Resting dick face? No, that just sounds...
no, that's better. Resting dick face.
That sounds sad.
This is why you need to watch this shit. Okay, you know, don't be closed-minded. Don't be closed-minded. Dude, like some of the viewers.
You know what resting dick face is? It's that gif when the girl's just sitting there and then all the hot dogs.
Resting dick face. I think we just created a new term.
Resting dick face.
Dude, you just totally pulled a Ron Swanson.
Apparently, that's actually how Nick Offerman laughs, though. And apparently, so that was the thing. People were always trying to make him laugh on set because of his laugh. Like, I listened to an interview where this is a problem. What's that fucker's name? The actor who played Andy.
Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt. Jesus.
Oh. Dude, the meat tornado. Thank you for introducing me.
And then he was like, "Stop! You had me."
This is wonderful.
And he was like, "Stop! You had me at meat tornado."
That was pretty good.
Like, killed a guy last year. But so Chris Pratt was talking about how he would like his goal.
You want to go run some plays in the parking lot?
No, his goal was always to try to make Nick Offerman laugh because they all just wanted that laugh.
I can't even do it. It's so goofy. It's so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's
just like a belly laugh.
Yeah, it's.
I can't even do it. I sound like a freaking evil character on a cartoon. That was terrible.
It's kind of like Morph's laugh from the original X-Men. I can't do it.
No, that sounds like Skeletor. See you again.
And he's like, "My fellow Americans, I am an idiot." I can't remember.
Abo!
Oh, fuck, look out!
Oh, man. Dude, the back of my head hurts so bad right here.
So, but anyway, David Draymond, Sound of Silence.
Oh, yeah.
So, for a second, I thought you were going to be like...
he can sing. He can sing. Don't get me wrong.
For a second,
the dude's a great singer.
Where I was taking issue was I thought you were... listen, I can understand why you might not like that vocal style, but to say he can't sing is just patently false.
Dude, when the Down with the Sickness came out and all you guys were all like, ooh, don't get me wrong. I love that part, and I do love that song.
Fun fact, Down with the Sickness...
He added that. And,
yes, he did.
And he was like, And then they're like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, but... Actually, Down with the Sickness is one of my least favorite Disturbed songs. Don't get me wrong, still like it.
That's okay.
But it's kind of like Du Hast. Du Hast is one of my least favorite Rammstein songs.
Du Hast.
Here's the thing.
Du hast mich.
Here's the thing about...
Du hast mich
gefragt. Here's the thing about...
Get fucked.
No, gefragt.
Get fucked.
It's not get fucked.
Get fucked. That's... Du hast mich Get fucked. That's the way it goes.
Here's a fun fact about that song. You know the chorus is actually just the German wedding vows.
Oh. That's why they had freaking cum buckets at their show spraying the...
Different song. That was Buchtisch.
I know. I'm just joking.
But no, it's...
Buchtisch?
Yeah, which literally means bend over.
Oh.
That's hence the... Hence the thing.
Hence the thing.
But
I heard people talk about that.
But yeah, the chorus of Du hast es, willst du bist der Todesschleier, treue sein für alle Tage. And then the chorus goes, ja, but then he says nein, because you're supposed to say yes.
Scheiße.
And then they say, because there's two vows, there's the man's vow and the women's vow, and then they say the women's vow later.
I take thee where to wed. I don't know.
I don't remember what they actually. Willst du bist der Todesschleier? Is will you be? I can't remember exactly what it is. Treue sein für alle. Alle Tage is all days, every day.
No, what he's saying is mine. Mine.
9.
9. Sorry.
Technically not wrong because my in German is mine. So
9.
So my dog, mein Hund.
Mein Kampf.
My struggle.
Is that what that's called?
Mm-hmm. That's what Mein Kampf.
I don't know if I've ever said this on here before, but I cannot find it at all. And I'm just going to point out, I am not for the Holocaust. I'm not for any of this. But I read a story one time, and I cannot find. Yeah, he's taking off. But no, I cannot find this. But the thing is, it said something about like apparently it was like an interview or something with Hitler, and or a book or something like that. I can't remember.
What, the Time Magazine Man of the Year article?
No, it was something else, and it basically said if you knew what they were up to, you would want to exterminate them too.
Oh, that pretty
much. I'm like, dude, you're just giving a reason being. But the thing is, the story was interesting, and I can't fucking find it.
That pretty much sounds like the entirety of Mein Kampf.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's pretty much what the book was about.
I ain't never read it. I never probably will.
I want to read it just
to get his perspective.
Well, to not literally my enemy, but
it's like going into the head of a serial killer. You want to know how they tick.
Here's the thing, though. It's like I read the Communist Manifesto because if I'm going to argue against communism, I want to know what is in their book. Not saying you have to read Mein Kampf to argue against fascism and Nazism, but, I think it helps because then you can be like, no, because you dumb fucks say this, and that's just patently false.
And that's another thing is, like, destroying history just because you think it's, like, hurtful. Like, destroying history is a bad thing. You don't destroy history because the thing is, if you destroy history, you are doomed to repeat it.
Well, either that or the people that are responsible. Like, for example, did you know that, as far as I'm aware, and if you're from Japan and I'm wrong, let me know, but Japan has never formally apologized for the atrocities committed against China in the Second World War.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us. And I was like, no. Well, I mean, dude, we lit up 2 suns in their fucking backyard.
Yeah, and we apologize for that.
And they don't have to apologize. We did something really bad.
I don't think we should have apologized.
First
of all, when we did apologize, it was not the government that did it.
Didn't Pearl Harbor take place in the night? Or no, Nagasaki and whatnot.
No, daylight.
Was it daylight?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine it's just dark outside and all of a sudden the sun lights up and you're like, it's 12. Gone.
Nope.
I'm not making fun of that. That's an atrocity. But at the same time, it happened.
I disagree. It's not an atrocity. It's not. Here's why.
Well, see, civilians who had nothing to do with it other than just being a part of that country died. That's an atrocity.
This is going to be a very controversial statement.
Ooh.
I'm almost afraid to make it.
I don't know.
I've got to word this extremely carefully. Okay, no, I'm not going to say it that way. No, because it's gonna get misconstrued. I'm gonna say something, but I've got to word it extremely carefully. So I want
to see how red-faced you can get, boy.
There are plenty of apologists for the atomic bombs being dropped in Japan, and I think these people mean well, but they are just ignorant to the facts. So here's what you have to understand. So first of all, the Japanese government was warned before the first one was dropped. They were told, surrender, or we will basically they were told to the effect of, we have a new weapon, it is going to have devastation beyond what you can even fathom. And it's also worth noting that more people died in the firebombing campaigns throughout the entire war than both of the atomic bomb strikes combined. It did a lot more damage over time.
Well, I was gonna say, did they take into effect like cancer and everything like that? Adding
probably not.
I was gonna say, because if you add that in, that's probably a lot of people.
I'll put it this way:
who eventually died.
I don't know the answer to that, so that's a fair criticism. So here's the other thing, though. And to be fair, the bomb was worse than even the U.S. thought. Like they
didn't think it was that.
They
bad?
didn't think it was gonna be quite that bad.
I mean, dude, there are markings on buildings in Japan today that still stand with shadows on them.
I don't think they're still standing, but they have photographs of the shadows. I don't think the buildings.
I gotta stop saying things.
Well, no, you might be right. I'm not sure.
I feel like I've seen something.
I'm not sure. Oh, and actually, if you want to mindfuck, if you're a Naruto fan, the Hyuga clan's eyes were based on survivors from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So, if you want to see something that'll fucking keep you awake at night, look that up.
No thanks. Actually, I do kind of have a question for you. Because you being a historian, pretty much, you might know this.
Amateur historian.
It don't matter. You know your shit. Okay, so we dropped a nuke on Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Mm-hmm.
And has any other country since then dropped any nuclear devices except us?
Other than testing, no.
Other than testing, yeah.
No. Never.
So therefore, the United States is 1-0.
Technically 2-0.
2-0 with that, and I'm just saying, like, I don't agree with it, but at the same time, I mean, they did something really bad, and apparently, like, I didn't know that they didn't think that the bomb wasn't that bad.
They knew it was going to be bad
because they were testing it in the desert. You can't think it's not going to be fucking bad. But you know, it's funny. Have you watched those videos now? They're pretty gnarly, right?
You know what?
The thing is, if you watch some of them, they seem faked.
You know what?
Did you see that same video?
Somebody was on Joe Rogan, and they make a good point.
Dude, I'm saying, like, the fucking car.
What happened? No, the best.
What happened to the camera?
That's the one that got me. I'm like, fuck.
But it very well could have been behind, like, really thick glass.
I don't think you understand what a nuclear blast does to an area.
And that's the thing. I don't know, because honestly, if it's glass, that much heat all at once is going to turn it back to sand.
Well,
right?
It melted. It turned the desert to glass, literally. That's how hot.
I said something very stupid.
No, I get where you were going.
Can you do that? Can you turn it back to sand with an extreme amount of heat?
No, I don't think so. I think it just melts.
So basically, once you turn sand into glass, yeah,
it's already been boiled.
That was a stupid thing I said.
That's okay. I said, why can't we make lithium in a lab?
Well, at least that was forever ago.
I keep bringing it up because I felt so stupid. But so here's the other thing.
The moon. Okay, I feel better.
So this is what apologists of the atomic bombs feel. So Japan was warned. You dropped the first bomb. And then Japan was warned again, because we said we're going to keep dropping these until you surrender. And I forget the name of the documentary, but it was about survivors of the atomic bombs. And there was a gentleman they were interviewing, and
oh my gosh,
he didn't. But here's the thing.
We didn't even check to see if the fucking microphone's working. All right, we're good.
I was going to say, there I see...
Thank goodness.
I see noise happening.
I would have been so mad.
But they were interviewing this... They were interviewing this Japanese man, an elderly, obviously, but he was alive when the bombs... He was a survivor. Mm-hmm. And he was from Nagasaki, so this is the second one. The interviewers, I guess, it was part of framing their question... But they said, the Japanese government knew, blah, 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 blah. And he said, wait, they knew? That was a really surreal moment to catch on camera. He was like, they knew?
And they didn't even warn any of their people?
Nope.
Whoa.
Yep. And after Nagasaki, the military wanted to keep going. The emperor actually put his foot down and said, no, we're done. Like, we can't, Like,
they're going to keep dropping these on us.
Yeah, they're going to keep going,
Can you imagine what would have happened to our atmosphere if they would have kept doing that?
Honestly, not a lot. So that's the other thing about these early bombs. So a lot of people ask the question. I found this out.
They probably had less plutonium or whatnot in
No,
them.
it's not that. I actually found this out from Neil deGrasse Tyson. He eliminated... Well, he knows about physics.
I know.
So... a lot of people ask like how the area was actually cleaned up significantly faster than a place like Chernobyl.
Can't tell the difference between a man and a woman, though.
Well, that's
Anyway,
particles.
Anyway,
the answer to that is the bombs didn't actually detonate at ground level.
Did they explode them above?
Before it hit the ground. So apparently it's not that big of a distance to make a huge difference.
That's more of a chemical type of attack and EMP. But if it's on the ground, it's devastation of like everything.
It contaminates everything more.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It contaminates
because the atmosphere carries it around, or not the atmosphere. Well, yeah.
No, it literally apparently like it's a fairly small distance away.
Why would they do that?
Well, it's actually better because the area doesn't get as contaminated. That's why you can actually go to Hiroshima and Nagasaki now.
How does it not make because it's not directly on top of it, so therefore it's able to disperse.
More of it is dispersed into the atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah, but that's dangerous.
Well, I know, but it gets dissipated. Like it's way.
Dude, there are certain types of I can't remember if it's tachyons or whatnot, but there are certain types of particles in the air that only exist due to us dropping those bombs. Yeah, and the funny thing is, you want to know something really crazy? Scientists have studied a bit of the atmosphere on Mars. Those same particles are there.
Well, I mean, it's all elements, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying though, but those elements had come together in such a way that is not normal in nature.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like Mars had gotten some type of or in the near past,
some kind of nuclear reaction.
Dude, we could have this whole planet could have been like crazy, like peaceful and whatnot, and then war broke out and we were advanced and we set ourselves back to the middle age, or middle age is whatever, Stone Age. All you gotta do is take away electricity right now and this whole fucking world would be fucked. We're so reliant on that. On that and the internet. You get rid of those two things, chaos.
At least for a while.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you what, right? That right there.
I'll tell you what, Gen Z and later are fucked.
It would take a huge portion of the population. I guarantee you, we would at least be halved.
Yeah, we fucking. Oh my god,
we cut me in half.
No man, we lose the internet, and then we have to teach our parents how to use a rotary phone again.
Oh my gosh,
I forgot.
Teach them how to program a VCR.
But
how do you set the time on this damn thing?
It's like, this was invented when you were alive, right? Not me. But so back to Japan. So what people fail to understand is Japan was actually getting ready for a land invasion. And when I say getting ready, I mean talking about giving sharpened bamboo sticks to children. Like they were going to, conservative estimates of only Allied military deaths were in the millions. That's not including Japanese civilians.
Why did they attack us in the first place?
So Japan had imperial ambitions in Asia. And actually, very fun fact, if you read the novel Battle Royale, in that book, they don't refer to themselves as Japan. They refer to themselves as the Republic of Greater East Asia, which is what Japan was trying to do in World War II. They wanted to conquer Asia and basically make it their sphere of influence with them at the top, but then basically like one big empire.
That's huge.
Well, yeah, so that's just a little fun fact. If
now Russia's included on that.
No.
They're not included in...
Maybe eventually, but...
Is Asia not the whole continent? I'm very stupid.
I think their goal was to get Asians that looked like them.
Okay.
I think they eventually would want Russia, but anyway, digress. They mainly Korea, China, like the Philippines, the islands, Malaysia, India, down in that area. That's where Japan was really going for. Here's the problem with Japan, though. They're an island, and they have very little natural resources of their own. Biggest one being oil, which is why they wanted to get into China in the first place.
To get oil?
To get oil. That was the big one. Well, the United States said, no, stop that, or we'll stop sending you oil. So, Japan had a choice. They could have either backed down, not gotten their empire, but still been able to have oil. And they still had chunks of, like, Japan had occupied Manchuria in China and Korea by that point, and some of the islands, I believe. Not the Philippines yet, but... Or they could keep going, know they were going to need to be in a war with the United States, so that's why they attacked Pearl Harbor, to try to knock out the Pacific Fleet, so that would buy them time to make more advances in China, get their oil reserves up, and then be able to turn and fight the U.S. and the Allies after, because the U.S. theoretically was going to have to take time to rebuild its Pacific Fleet.
Dude, we were dealing with Germany and all that
Not
stuff.
Yet.
We weren't?
No, not yet. We had not declared war.
We didn't get
on
involved,
Germany.
right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
That wasn't until after. We were doing with Great Britain and France what we were doing with Ukraine now.
When was Pearl Harbor?
December 7th, 1941.
There you go. So the thing is, that happened before we got involved with the World War.
Correct.
So,
well, fun fact though, we actually didn't declare war on Germany. They declared war on us.
And then we're like, all right, bet.
I mean, it was gonna happen. It was gonna happen.
Can you imagine, people? Just think about this for a second and really think about it. Can you imagine one person changed the minds and hearts of so many people, and so many people died because of it? Think about that when you vote for people and you idolize people. Like, even though I'm like, I will vote for Trump, I don't idolize him. I don't worship him.
Well, you know what's funny? That usually,
I just like his policies.
That usually results from a power grab, not so much from being elected.
Mm-hmm.
Although Hitler was technically elected chancellor. No, he wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. He was not elected chancellor. He ran for president and did well, but he didn't win. But since he was the head of the largest political party in Germany, he went up to Hindenburg and was like, make me chancellor or we're going to be a pain in your ass. And he was like, fine.
I want to know who did that paperwork.
So
because I'm telling you what, right now, I guarantee you their children are like, the fucking idiot.
Oh yeah, so fun fact. So where was I going with this? So, but it's not funny, but in a sheer twist of luck, the primary naval fighting force in the Second World War, there was a shift. It went from battleships to aircraft carriers because airplanes became a lot more feasible in warfare. Now, keep in mind, when Pearl Harbor happened, battleships were still considered the strong point of a naval fleet. The Pacific Fleet's aircraft carriers just so happened to be out running drills when Pearl Harbor happened. Here's what's... The United States is so good at many things, but one of them is adaptation. So we lost a bunch of our battleships. We got a bunch of aircraft... Well, we don't have a bunch, but we've got aircraft carriers. So what do we switch our naval strategy to basically be based on? What do you think? Aircraft carriers. And then you've got a few skirmishes before the Battle of Midway, but we basically got rid of the vast majority of the Japanese Navy in one battle because of intelligence. Because we knew they were coming, and when we knew when they were going to be coming, and we fucked them up.
Like, you're coming by boat, bro.
Well, no, it's a great story, which actually the movie,
we got 2-day UPS.
The movie Midway has this scene, and it's fucking brilliant. So get this shit. So we being the United States at the time, had actually cracked part of the Japanese code, so we could read not all their messages, but we could read parts of them, so we had a decent idea of what they were doing. Well, there was this target, they called it AF.
As fuck.
I don't know what AF means, but they were getting a bunch of chatter about gearing up for an operation, but they didn't know where AF was. They suspected it could be Midway, at least in Hawaii they did. Now, there was some back and forth between them and codebreakers and intelligence in Washington that were saying, no, it's not Midway. We think it's, I forget where they thought it was. But so, and I forget his name. I'm drawing a blank. It was a brilliant move. He had Midway, the base on the island of Midway, send out an unencrypted message saying that their water filtration system was broken. And then they intercept the Japanese communication saying that target AF is out of fresh water. So then they knew it was Midway. They knew when they were coming. They knew what ships were going to be there. And the entire...
Wow, they're dumb.
Not really. They didn't know. They didn't know we were intercepting their chatter. Yeah. But really, the Battle of Midway is just a bunch of really lucky breaks for the Americans. Because, there was... this is also probably TMI, but if you like history, you'll love this. So, the number one plane prior to Midway that was considered ship sinking were torpedo bombs. The problem with torpedo bombers, you have to fly really slow and low directly at the ships and then drop your torpedo and hope to God it hits. But then we also had dive bombers. Now, the problem with the torpedo bombers is, A, they get shot a lot, and B, the torpedoes, turns out, didn't really have a great track record of working. Dive bombers, on the other hand, so after the first torpedo squadron got, I think only one plane survived from the first run. Like, it was bad. But then, so, God, it's just, watch a breakdown, because it's a miracle that we won this battle just because of. So there was a squadron of dive bombers that were heading out one direction, but they actually, I don't remember if they got lost or if they just went the wrong way or if they were going out on like a search pattern or whatever. But anyway, earlier in the day, a U.S. submarine intercepted the Japanese fleet and was trying to sink some of the ships, but they found it, so they were dropping depth charges. They left a battleship behind to pin down the sub, and the rest of the fleet kept moving. That dive bomber squadron saw the waves from the ship leaving where the sub was to catch up to the fleet, and that's how they knew to follow it to get to the fleet. So right after that torpedo squadron failed, who was the admiral? Yamamoto, I think? No, I think he might have been the main guy. I can't remember. The Japanese admiral for the Japanese Navy at the time, he had to refuel his planes and rearm them, and he had to make a decision. Basically, his fighters, for the most part, were not out. They were getting refueled and resupplied. Well, that's when the dive bombers come. So they pretty much got very little resistance, and I think they sank 2 aircraft carriers in that one run. Like, it's wild. Like, the Japanese Navy just got wrecked. Like, they just...
Good.
I think they brought... How many carriers? Did they bring 4 carriers and we sank 3 of them? I think. Pretty sure.
I sunk your battleship.
Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The Japanese Navy never recovered.
You should do a history hour.
Oh, dude.
Like, seriously.
I would love that.
Because the thing is, if you literally just talked about World War II, which I know you love.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. This was supposed to be old TV shows, but...
It's okay. It is an old TV show.
That's true.
It's the oldest. Well, it's not the oldest, but... Well, I mean, TV shows, media, anything, period.
Don't sleep on the film Midway. I'll tie it back in. Yeah, it's funny. Did you watch Midway?
No.
It's very, very good. And extremely accurate. It's oddly accurate for a Hollywood movie. Like, it's scary. They get some, and it's funny because there's some moments in that movie.
What year?
Very recent. I think it was 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I saw it was pre-pandemic because I saw it in theater. So yeah, I think it was 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2019.
I think you've talked about it.
Yeah, I have, because there's only one. There's parts in that movie that you think are Hollywood that actually happened. There's only one part of that movie that bugs me, and it's at the very end, and it's the text at the end when it said it dedicates this movie is dedicated to the sailors and airmen of the United States and Japanese Navy.
Well, they were just one to...
No. The Imperial...
Hold on. Say that one more time.
This film is dedicated to the sailors and airmen of the United States and Japanese Navy.
Nah. Well, I mean...
No.
It wasn't the Japanese...
No, they're
the Japanese leaders who sent the Japanese...
No.
Military in.
No. The Japanese military, Navy, and Army...
That's right. You said they were for it. Never mind.
No, not only that. At the time, this is not a commentary on modern Japan at all. The Japanese Army and Navy of the World War II era committed some of the worst atrocities in human history. These were not good people. They were not in any way, shape, or form redeemable, in my opinion. Their whole aim was to enslave the continent of Asia. Like, there's nothing good came from their actions. None. And and this is not to minimize the Holocaust in any way, shape, or form, but there's a reason they call it the Rape of Nanking. That was Japanese Army, but the Japanese Navy did terrible things too. Like, they, I forget what ship it was. They captured some, and it wasn't a small amount. I think it was like 150.
America's done a lot of bad things too.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not saying.
We have, but like, I'm sorry, but when you conservatively, I can't remember if it was 50 or 150 American sailors, they made them, after beating the shit out of them, mind you.
Oh, yeah.
Brought them all out on deck, disemboweled and beheaded all of them in front of each other, and then threw them overboard to the sharks.
Well, at least I'm dead already.
Well, I guess silver lining. No, there's none
of their linings were silver.
No, in no way, shape, or form can you convince me that anything from the Japanese Navy should have been dedicated in that film. Absolutely not.
Well, that was just a woke person trying to
probably.
That's probably. Add in. We gotta be inclusive to the other murderer. What?
You gotta be inclusive.
What are you talking about, man? Come on, man.
Which actually, another movie I've talked about. This one you might want to sleep on, honestly, if you're squeamish or have a history of trauma in your life. I've talked about it before, but if you want to have an idea of how brutal the Japanese army was at the time, watch the movie Flowers of War. It will fuck with you. It's a Chinese movie. It's insanely accurate. Well, it's not accurate because they're fictional characters, but I mean, it's very historically authentic. It's not a pleasant watch. But like I said, the Japanese government has never apologized for that, formally or otherwise. I don't think they ever apologized for Pearl Harbor either. But at least Pearl Harbor was a military target.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, so since that happened to Japan and whatnot, they really changed their tune and just started creating stuff. And they're like, oh, what does it run? Will make you dependent on us on computer chips.
Well, what's really funny about Japanese manufacturing, though, is at the time of World War II, they were vastly behind the United States because for every, I cannot remember the figure, but basically in a year, the United States was building, I think, 5 aircraft carriers and Japan was building 1. No, and actually we might have had more than that. I mean, we were just, you got to understand, manufacturing in the 1940s, the United States was just boom, 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 one after the other. Like, there's a lot of people that hypothesize situations in which the Axis powers would have won the Second World War. It wasn't going to happen. If the United States is in the war or even contributing to the war, it's not happening.
Hold on a second. You said manufacturing was booming during the World War II?
Mm-hmm. It was making armaments.
Thank you. Yeah, then that's what I was going to say. Like, yeah, they were making stuff like that. No, well, it was booming, but it was booming for war.
Well, but our manufacturing was pretty well booming before then, because
that was our big industrial.
Yeah, that was hard. Which it makes sense because, like, you have the Roaring Twenties, where the Roaring Twenties is because pretty much all of Europe was destroyed because of the First World War, and we were left untouched, and we already had like this booming. We already had industry and a workforce that was like, crazy, and then happened again in World War II. That's how the United States becomes a world superpower. Is after the war. We weren't
touched.
Well, we were kind of touched, but like not in our homeland because unless you count a couple of Japanese guys landing on the Aleutian Islands, the United States was untouched by the war.
Up until 9/11.
Well, yeah, I mean, realistically, yeah. But yeah, in Europe and a lot of Asia is just in shambles.
And then probably we did that to ourselves.
I don't know
just
about
saying, 9/11? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, if they made a 9/11 today, you would sympathize with the hijackers.
They had families too. It's like, bitch, they knew what they were doing.
You'd have people in that movie, if they made it today, you'd have people on the plane being like, well, we did bomb.
It's like those, a lot of the shooters here lately of like schools and churches. I mean, a lot of them are trans. I don't feel bad for their families.
I feel bad for their families. I don't feel bad for them.
Because the thing is, they allowed that type of behavior to frickin' expand. So no, I don't feel bad for them at all. If you see crazy behavior, you fucking call it out like immediately. That's the problem we have today. People are afraid to say, "Oh, you're acting a little fucking silly." Like, let's bring that back. Like,
you're acting silly.
Back in the day, man, when a kid got out of control and was acting silly, you know what the parents did? They fucking smacked him down. Not smacked him down, but they just spanked their butt or smacked him, and they're like, "Oh, sit the fuck down! Quit acting like an idiot."
If you mouth off to the rock will take you, bend you over, take that size 14 boot, turn that sumbitch sideways, and shove it up your candy ass.
In what?
What?
Shove it up what?
It doesn't matter.
Damn it! The fucker ruined my joke.
It doesn't matter what you shove.
I was literally getting ready to tell you it doesn't matter.
Which, by the way, The Rock is back.
I know, I heard. Dude, the funny thing is, if they brought back the whole bad boy NWO and whatnot, how hilariously bad would that be?
Well, you can't because Scott
Hall
passed.
They'd be all old and...
Well, Scott Hall passed, so you can't.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, you got Kevin Nash and Hulkster still hanging around.
Kevin Nash.
And you don't have the Macho Man, yeah. Although he came later. But
yeah, he did.
I was going to say something. Miss Elizabeth said wait, so the Macho Man waited. No. I'm going to bring this up in down the middle, but for those of you who are aware, you might not know this because WrestleMania might be over by the time you... So I'm not going to bring that up. Because it will be pointless.
Pointless.
It doesn't matter!
A movie that I slept on was Sling Blade.
Ain't got no gas. You know what? I tried to watch it. I can't.
The funny thing is, this one guy told me the perfect thing about that movie. He said, if you watch it by yourself, it's a comedy, but if you watch it with your girl, it's a drama. But if you watch it no. Hold on. I got fucked up. He said if you watch it by yourself. No, how did he say it? No, he said if you watch it when you're drunk, it's a comedy. If you watch it with your girl, it's a drama. And there was something else I can't remember, but it was pretty funny. I was like, that's legit.
You can say the same thing about Brokeback Mountain.
Oh gosh.
If you watch it with your boyfriend, it's a warm up. I feel bad.
What's another movie? A movie I really slept on and didn't watch it for the longest time. Forrest Gump.
Oh man, Forrest Gump is great.
I didn't watch it till I was like literally 35, 36. I was 34.
So they did
I'm trying to make myself older.
I just saw a deleted scene that they took out of that movie. It's the Birmingham bus riots, and there's the cops have the German Shepherds in Birmingham, Alabama, and Forrest comes out of nowhere with a stick, and he's like, "You want the stick? You want the stick? Get the stick!" And he throws it, and all the dogs run after the stick. And then he just walks up to Martin Luther King and his people who is like, they just dogs. Like that should have been in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I remember seeing that clip and that being on there because they were like, yeah, there was a reason it wasn't added. And I was like, that's kind of
I feel like it should have, although probably the best moment is when he meets JFK and he's like, I gotta pee.
I'll draw, what did he say, 7? Or 11 Dr. Peppers?
50. I must have had me about 15 Dr. Peppers.
Dude. The funny thing is, this little clip, I don't remember, this is some black guy, and this dude pours Dr. Pepper in his mouth, and he's sleeping. He's like, that Dr. Pepper? That Dr. Pepper? I loved it, man. I was like, dude, that's just so
Oh my God, I saw a TikTok the other day that was funnier than shit. I can't remember what the caption was, though, but it basically is a shit.
Dude, we just need to have a freaking episode where we sit down and just react to TikToks and shit like that.
What's really funny, I'll tell you more about this off air, but I shouldn't say I met someone because I've known him for years, but I didn't know he was doing a bunch of stuff like behind the scenes, and he just asked me recently to help collaborate on it, and I just was like, I don't really know why you want me to, but I mean, I'm down. But I just recently had him on my podcast. He's an out there dude, but like in a good way. Like he's really, really cool dude. But man, I wish I could remember this TikTok because it was a guy. It was like when white people go to some place and then no, it's like when white liberals go to South Central LA or something, and then it gets that clip from Blast from the Past. Brendan Fraser's like, "Holy smokes, a Negro!"
Well, how do you do? I do fine.
That shit is that movie's hilarious. That's one if you haven't seen Blast from the Past.
Oh, that's a good one.
That movie's hilarious.
I mean, that dude literally has like millions of dollars worth of stuff, and like he almost got taken, and then luckily that what's her face saved him.
Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
I love the premise of that movie is just Cuban Missile Crisis. They have a bunker, and a lot of people had bunkers, and they get the false alarm, and they seal themselves up for 50 fucking years.
And then they just live down there.
It's because they can't. They can't get out.
I know, but the funny thing is they built buildings on top of it, and I'm like, dude, in a normal world, that wouldn't happen.
No, you'd have to call 811 before you dug.
I mean, you can't put a building. Well, actually, they didn't have a building around them. They did leave a little spot to where they could come out.
Yeah.
So then maybe they just knew it was there and knew the people lived there. And can you imagine just knowing there's a tomb down there with 3 people?
I would think you'd be able to get through it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what would it have? You know,
I think that's one of those movies that falls apart if you think too hard about it.
Because didn't a plane crash on top of their house?
I think so.
Something did happen.
Yeah, that's right.
A plane crashed on top of their house, and that's why because they heard something about the false alarm, and all of a sudden a plane crashed on their house. I was like, that's perfect. That was a good movie.
I forgot about the plane crashing on it. Yeah. Oh man, Blast from the Past. It's hilarious. Yeah, they don't make lower budget movies. Which actually, I'm going to tell you would not like this movie, but I'm going to tell the audience about it because I was impressed. First of all, I did like the movie. I thought it was real cute and all. But what really impressed me about this movie, like if you want to talk about a micro budget movie, I found it on Tubi completely randomly. The movie's called Black Coffee. It's a chick flick, but what impressed the hell out of me about this movie is how
you watch a lot of chick flicks,
dude. Some are good, some are bad, but this one was pretty good.
Summer teeth.
I'll give you summer teeth. Some are here, some are there. That's a How I Met Your Mother line. But anyway, what impressed me about this movie was you can tell. Now, don't take this the wrong way, because the movie looks. I'm not going to say it looks great, but I mean it looks good enough. Like it doesn't look like shit. But you can tell this was done on such a minuscule budget in the best way possible. I think there's 7 locations for like an hour and a half movie.
I don't know.
But no, it's...
What about the phone booth?
Okay, valid. But what was the budget for the phone booth?
Probably too fucking much, just because it had Colin Farrell in it.
I will put it to you this way.
I'm on the phone! What do you want?
So this movie made about $534,000. It was profitable. So...
Was it a Sundance film or something?
No. Apparently, there's this studio, and they've got a YouTube channel, and all their movies are on there for free. So like, you can watch it. I found it on Tubi, but you can watch it on YouTube. And it's a group of, I'm guessing they're mostly black creators. I think they're based out of Atlanta. And they just make these little movies, but apparently they make them for like you see a lot of the same actors. Like it's weird. It's like an old school like film troupe. Almost think Monty Python, but not necessarily comedy. Like you see the same actors in various roles and everything.
What's your name?
Man, I still laugh my ass off with Biggest Dickus. And actually, I've changed the plan. I don't know where I want to fit this because I knew there was one song I wanted played at my funeral, but I think I want this song played when they actually lower my casket into the ground. I think I want them to play Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
Dude, no. What if someone plays as their casket's being lowered, I'm Coming Out?
No. Here's what...
I'm coming out.
No. Here's...
They're like sitting there patiently like...
Here is the best part of why I'd want that song played, though, because towards the end of the song, the guy who's singing it just rambles about shit. So, like, because you're supposed to be leaving the theater, and he just keeps talking. It's like, incidentally, this record's available, and, you know, like, kind of shit. Who do you think pays for this rubbish, you know? And, I mean, that was
Monty Python bit,
yes,
right?
It was. And you know what? Why I wanted to do that, there's a line in the song where it's like, I can't remember. It was like, life's a bit absurd and death's the final world. You should always face the curtain with a bow. And then it's like, just remember that the last laugh is on you. I'm like, dude, that's the best fucking way to go.
It truly is.
Because
if you can't laugh, that's the stuff.
It's like... the point of the song, though. And I just love the idea of it. Like, to be fair, at my funeral, it won't be somber. There's going to be people laughing their asses off. But I love the idea of something so somber being interrupted. Like, some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. He's like, when you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. There's just something that is so goddamn funny to me about that. I imagine, like, so there's probably going to be one surly person who doesn't have a phony bone in their body who's like, well, I'd never. But I mean, I just want everybody else to just be like, this motherfucker.
Like people who say Will Ferrell isn't funny.
He's not funny in every movie, but yes, like,
I'm
people
not saying he's not funny in every movie. I'm just saying, like, some people are like, they're just like, I just don't like him. It's kind of like me saying I don't like David Draymond.
Yeah, but I literally want.
Except he sucks.
I want people at my funeral to be like, this motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
It's like, you son of a bitch.
Does Nick have his podcast up and running for Goosebumps?
Yeah, they've been doing it for weeks. Dude, they've gotten
on
some...
YouTube.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Oh, man.
Haven't seen it or heard it. He doesn't post any links.
No, I've seen... he mostly does his stuff on Instagram, yeah. But no, man, they've already got... Dude, they got some of the actors from the show on there.
I've heard.
Already. And fucking... they got the illustrator from the book covers. Like, they're killing it. I'm like, I don't know how you guys are doing it, but actually...
It's a huge freaking...
actually, Haley's killing it, too, because she's gotten, like, back-to-back, like, really...
I messaged her the other day, and she had a couple shorts, and I watched them. I was like, hey.
Yeah, she's getting some...
Doing a good job.
Well, she's got some, like, touring cast members for the Broadway tour of Jagged Little Pill. I
saw that. Yeah.
It's like, wow.
I saw a lot of that content. I was like, dang, yeah, man.
They're killing it, and we're over here just...
No, you're doing good. I'm in the middle of
we're over here.
A bunch of bullshit, so...
Abu. Al-Baghdadi.
He died like a dog.
How sick would it be to have Shane Gillis on for like 5 minutes?
Oh, dude, I would just probably laugh at him for 5 minutes because he'd probably just be cutting jokes.
I would be. Actually, can we just have you on but say you're Donald Trump?
Like, can you just come on as Donald Trump? Would that be cool? Like, Abo.
Actually, I want to watch his SNL.
Monologue?
No, I want to watch the whole thing because I've seen some.
I've seen 2 scenes.
I did the one where they did the Like Mike parody, but it was like Trump.
Oh god.
Oh god.
You know the funny thing is because he's making fun of him, and
he is though. That's the beautiful thing. But he's not. It's not coming from a place of hate. He's doing it because he knows it's funny. Mm-hmm. But they do. The premise is he puts on those gold Trump sneakers and he just turns into Donald Trump.
Oh, dude. You know the funny thing is the gold sneakers. Like that was you said
genius.
This too. That was genius. You know
I knew it was. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, they're gold sneakers.
Dude,
anyone can buy them.
I knew it was genius when I saw it. I was like, oh, there.
Hey, just like they said about slaves, don't like one, don't own one. That's obviously a joke, people. But
you know, I don't think those are really the same thing.
No, but no, because a lot of people on that channel that I was talking about earlier about abortion, they literally said, you know, like how people say, oh, you don't like abortion, don't get one.
Oh, and
literally, when slaves were a thing, people literally said, if you don't like it, don't get one. And it's just like, I mean.
But what's funny is, and you make the same. That assertion points out that if you're pro the thing, you're starting out from a false premise. Because when it comes to slavery, you're starting out with a false premise that you're not talking about your fellow man. And with abortion, you're making the assumption that you're not talking about your fellow man.
You're making the same case.
False premise. It's a Zeno paradox.
Yep. But the thing is, no, I'm not. I mean, I understand what it means just by, you know, the story.
Well, no, I'm gonna explain what a Zeno paradox is, which is actually Zeno's paradox, but it's so stupid. And the fact that people actually...
Or maybe I didn't understand it.
Well, so Zeno's a specific Greek philosopher, but he says that motion is not real. And would you like to know why he says motion is not real?
Why?
Because in order to cover any distance, and I quote, and this is what he translated to English, obviously, but to cover any distance, you must first cross an infinite number of finite distances. So what that means is, let's say you want to move like a yard. Well, a yard is 3 feet and a foot is 12 inches. Except, so he's like, you can keep breaking it down infinitely. And it's like, yes, but every time you break it down, 12 inches is still equal to a foot and 3 feet is still equal to a yard. No matter how much, it's an infinite number of finite distances. I have to take a big step and I've crossed 3 feet.
It's as simple as that.
You stupid toga-wearing fuck. Like, you didn't think about what you were saying before you said it. And the fact that people actually bring Zeno up and give any credence to his idea, it's a flawed statement.
It's like flat earthers.
I give more credit to them because at least, like, I can observe motion. Look.
That's a finite amount distance.
Oh, you can't do that because you had to move. That's approximately a foot. Actually, gotta love the motion blur.
Oh shit, DBZ, son.
What was I said? I don't remember the joke they did on DBZ. Bridge. Like, hey, Frieza. She's like, shit, I can't remember the.
Yeah, that was pretty stupid.
Oh,
you know,
actually,
Frieza's so powerful, but yet couldn't track energy.
I love the joke in DBZ. Hey, Frieza, you should split.
That's funny. Trunks.
I just love how in DBZ Abridged, Trunks just tries too hard. And that's actually one of the ones that lands. He's like, you should split. But I love the one where he's like, Trunks has so many. He's like, okay, Trunks. When he comes out of the time chamber, he's like, okay, Trunks, it's the first time they're seeing you. Make a good impression. Look cool. And he goes, and then Goku goes, hey, Trunks, nice hair. And he just goes, thanks, I grew it myself. Damn it! And then Goku just goes, that's funny. He's like, roll with it.
Oh, man.
I just love how in DBZ Abridged he calls Vegeta Jeets.
Jeets?
Hey, Jeets.
Ass Jeets. Oh, man, they could have made that joke. Ass Jeets. Nah, I don't know. They're probably funnier than me.
I know they're funnier than me.
Oh. Dude, you know, we can never get lucky with seating.
What do you mean?
This is good for lounging.
Yeah.
You know, and I already thought about some new seats for when we do, and I've found them, but they're not exactly cheap. But they're awesome.
I think what we should do for the new setup is back to the table.
Oh yeah, I was already thinking that too, because like you know like staring, being able to actually like you know like this, because I have a fucked up neck. And when I literally sit like this yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I want to do it, I gotta like completely turn sideways. And that shit just looks awkward.
Oh, fuck, look out.
Look out!
I love it. Sometimes when you do that, you lapse into Mr. Garrison, and that's even funnier. Oh, fuck, look out, children!
Mr. Garrison cares about kids! Dude, it's funny how, like, 10 years ago, South Park was making fun of trans and all that stuff, and literally it came to pass.
Dude, I showed that
clip. It was well over 10 years.
I showed that clip to my mom.
Oh, she's probably like...
No, she thought it was hilarious.
It's like, see?
I told her, I said, see?
Nancy should have been watching the shit with us. I'm just kidding.
She was like, that was so funny.
Dude, my mom took me to see Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Yeah, I know.
And every one of my friends was like, how did you get her to do that? And
dude, I know
like, she laughed her ass
I know
off.
your mom. I know exactly how you did it. Your mom knew you weren't going to be... She knew you were fucked already. You know cartoon was going to fuck you up more.
Yeah, right. She's just like, oh, yeah, you'll be fine.
See, your mom understood that you saw it anyway. And you were going to see it anyway.
Right. I was pretty young when that happened, though. I mean, it would have came out in like 99.
It's odd.
I saw it in theaters.
South Park premiered in 1997.
And the movie came out like really
2 years. I think they were in their third season.
And that was a full-ass movie. It's like, why haven't we got another real full-ass movie?
I think Matt and Trey don't want to do another one.
I wish they would.
From what I understand, they hated the process.
Probably because it was time constrained. Well, I mean, honestly, they have weekly episodes, so they have time constraints. But I tell you what, dude, I guarantee you, out of all people who do jobs in TV, movie, I guarantee you they enjoy theirs the most. Have you ever seen them do
whatever they want?
Have you ever seen them recording vocals? Dude, it's hilarious, man. When he had his kid in there and he's just like, you're da, you know, and he's
it's
just
one of my
that.
favorite clips. He's like, Nihama South Park Elementary.
Dude, and he's just laughing so hard when he's doing it.
So sorry, Kairu.
Should I eat the cuttlefish or the asparagus? Or what was it?
Should I eat the cuttlefish or vanilla pesto? So, I don't know if you'd call her a friend. She was a friend. I don't know. We just haven't talked in a long time. But we bonded very much over that clip. And then, like a couple of months ago, she sent me a picture. She was like, I know you would appreciate this. She found a thing of vanilla paste in her parents' pantry. And I'm just like, yes, that is hilarious.
That's funny.
But I'm sorry, guys.
Was it vanilla paste or vanilla pesto?
Vanilla paste.
Is that what he was saying?
Vanilla pesto.
Or the cuttlefish, and then he eats the cuttlefish. Okay, I eat the cuttlefish. Yeah, but the thing is, like...
Oh, it's going to be a rot.
It's going to be a rot.
Which I love though, because they actually asked one of their, I think he's one of their animators or one of their producers, somebody who works on the staff, and they have a couple of Asian people that are on staff, and they're like, is this offensive? And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, but you almost, and I get it. He's like, you really have to lean in heavy, because it's all, the entirety of the show is based upon the absurdity of it all. So if you half-ass it, it's going to come off as offensive. But if it's a fucking cartoon character, like...
It's a cartoon.
It's like
you're getting mad at a cartoon.
Well, but it's like you have to lean into the stereotype, because it's not... He explains it way better than I do, but it's like, yes, it's offensive, but it's not offensive it's supposed to be offensive. Like, it's part of the joke. You know, it's... And to be fair, Matt and Trey make fun of everyone, so... They
definitely do not hide. They make fun of everybody.
They make fun of white people just as much, if not more. Mm-hmm. It's like, Stan, the virus has a 98% chance of survival. You need a blink. Which, by the way, I think that was in season 2, which would have been in like 1998 or 1999 when they did the SARS episode.
Has this been making its rounds on social media?
No, I just rewatched it. Like a while back, but yeah, I'm surprised it didn't.
A viral short right there.
That's a great episode, by the way. That's the whole that's when I got caught off guard with the when they go to the Indian casino.
So they were talking about SARS, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, and the cure for SARS is blankets and chicken noodle soup. But that's when I got caught off guard by the Native American Indian casino comedy club. Ha 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 ha.
You know, the funny thing is about colds and everything like that, it's like everyone always thinks that you need to eat. And it's like, honestly, the best thing for you is to literally fast.
It depends.
No. Any virus, because viruses feed off of sugar. So therefore, what do people generally eat when they're sick? Comfort foods. Typically, they're not eating just like a piece of plain chicken.
You know what? Fun fact: I typically don't eat when I'm feeling sick because I don't have an appetite.
A lot of people are like that. They don't have an appetite, and that's and generally, do you stay sick or do you get get better within like 2-3 days?
It depends.
Well, I know sometimes the severity of what it is.
Well, and then also I think it's so like, for example, if you have a bacterial infection, especially if you're prescribed antibiotics, you need to eat, because if you take most antibiotics on an empty stomach, it'll.
Well, actually, you don't need to eat. It's actually the only reason
you do. Trust me.
No. If you can tolerate the pain, you need to.
No. If you're taking antibiotics.
No, it says on mine, take on empty stomach.
Oh, then you got a weird one.
But you know what's funny? You know what else it says right after it? Eat with food if it gives you stomach cramps. I'm like, then what's the point? Well, just eat with food.
So I don't know what antibiotics you got prescribed. The last time I got prescribed antibiotics, I made the mistake.
It's a rough one, dude. It hurts my stomach every time I take it.
Well, eat.
Well, no, and I do. And I literally have like stomach pain for like damn near 45 minutes.
But the last time I was prescribed antibiotics, I literally forgot to eat breakfast one morning, because I normally don't, but they said take with food. Otherwise, you'll get sick, and I did, and within 15 minutes, it was like South Park when they were shitting out their mouths.
When he who was it? Kenny, was it Kenny's dad that was at the NAMBLA meeting?
No, who was that shit?
It was Kenny's dad.
Was it Kenny's dad?
Yeah, it was Kenny's dad.
Because I know Cartman joined.
Yeah, but the thing is, Kenny's dad went into the dark room, and he got.
That's right.
He got taken care of.
Was that Kenny's dad?
Yeah, and then remember he was on a trash can. He was shitting, thrown up in it, and.
Was that not Randy?
It might have been Randy.
I can't remember.
I think it was Kenny's dad.
I think that was before Randy came into his own, because that was an early episode.
He wasn't really.
No.
He became a huge.
Oh man, Randy is.
And I tell you what, he was the one that was slept on for a while because he did dumb shit, and it was so funny.
I loved it. I love Randy.
Hey guys. I mean, he doesn't sound like that all the time.
The episode where they reveal that he is Lord. The whole thing is so stupid. It should not be funny.
I don't remember that one.
It's a newer, like within the last decade. I mean, I think it's more recent than that. But oh my god, like the whole premise is so fucking stupid. I watched this. I skipped ahead to watch this episode because I said this is so dumb. But I know Matt and Trey, like it's gonna be gold. Like, because the premise is so stupid the episode is gold where he fucking the whole premise of Randy is Lord, and he comes up with the songs when he's taking a dump at work.
Oh, Lord, like as in the singer.
Yeah.
For some reason, you were saying he's Lord, and I was like, he was acting like he was God.
No, he's Lord, the singer.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, feeling good on Wednesday. And he's like, Dad, that sounds nothing like no. Thanks. It's like this is.
It will never be green beans.
I just love that. It's such a stupid. Yeah. I am Lord.
Did you ever watch the superhero sagas?
I haven't seen it in its entirety, but I'm familiar with it, and I want to.
It was actually freaking good.
Well, dude, that's what most South Park is.
I know,
seriously.
But no, it was literally about everyone was a superhero. Kenny was amazing.
Yeah, no. What was he?
Mysterion.
Yeah, that's right. And then Cartman was the coon, right?
Yeah. And then the one kid was the only one with real powers. Remember? Well, actually, you didn't. You probably didn't get that far.
I was gonna say probably not.
There was one kid with real powers, and that's just like so many.
I do.
That's like Watchmen. None of them had powers except for Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, right.
Everyone else was just badass.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I did watch.
That's a slept-on movie, anyway.
Yeah, kind of. Although it's coming back. I did see I did watch the Lord of the Rings 2-parter from South Park. That shit was funny.
That was good. What was that? The Return the Porn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We must return.
Backdoor Sluts number 9.
He's like, wow, the score is really good for.
That was a good one. Oh, this one really took a turn.
Yeah, it did.
It's okay though.
That's okay. It's a filler episode, so we'll just. So in this, actually, the title for this one would be attempting to talk about slept-on TV shows.
No, it'll be like very loose. No, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll come up when we need it. But it's a timeless episode. We'll just keep this one in the can.
All right. Well, anything else?
No.
All right. Well, that was another one for your eyeballs and earballs. Can you believe that?
Got me right in the earballs, Mr. Hat.
Oh, scissor me timbers. You know the funny thing is about Xerxes and him scissoring? Did you ever hear about that?
What? Xerxes?
Okay, I'm not going to end this yet. Okay, so Mr. Garrison and Xerxes from 300 were in a lesbian whatever. And the funny thing is, they're like, oh, Mr. Garrison is like, oh, what do lesbians do? Like scissor? And then it just goes to them showing, and they're just like going to town, and then they're just like, oh, scissor me timbers. Oh my God, dude, it's so funny. And with that,
oh my God.
Bye-bye. Have a good time.
I only ask that you kneel.
Bye.